What's up, everyone? Welcome to this episode of Kev Eats World. On today's episode, we're going to walk through how to use a kitchen knife or a chef's knife. I've watched a few of family members and even my own wife come dangerously close to cutting their finger off, and so there is a proper way to use a knife. So for purposes of this episode, we are going to use a kitchen knife. This is an 8-inch kitchen knife. There's two main things that you want to think about when you're going to use a knife. You should be sharpening your knives with a kitchen steel every time you're going to use. If you're not chopping things as much as I am, maybe every couple days you'll be fine. But sharp knives will prevent injury. And then the second thing is going to be your grip on the knife. And then really a third thing actually is what you're doing with your offhand, because you want to keep all of your fingers. So really the easiest way to think about sharpening a knife is you want angles on the blade and you just want to do gentle strokes. You don't have to go super fast. You might see some people do it this way. Essentially all you're doing is just getting angles on the blade. The second thing, if you want to zoom in here, Sammy Pie Rose, is your grip on the knife. My buddy Dylan actually taught me how to grip a knife years ago, and it's held true ever since. You don't want to grip the back of the knife. You don't have any control of the knife. You don't want to grip up here in the knife because you could cut your finger off. Really, you want to grip towards the end of the handle, and you want to have whatever's comfortable for you, but you want to have your fingers gripping the blade. That'll give you the most control. And then the last thing when you're chopping is fingers are never flat. That's how you chop fingers off. You always want your tips of your fingers tucked back, so if you're going to be resting your knife against your finger as you chop, you won't lose any fingers. So now that we know how to sharpen a knife, grip a knife, the most important thing is how to actually use a knife. So when you use a knife, especially these kitchen knives that are longer, you want to use really physics to your advantage. I won't go through Bill Nye, but you don't want to be using the front of the blade to chop. You don't want to be going up and down when you chop. Really how you use a knife is you'll want to rest somewhere the tip of your knife, and really what you're doing is you're doing forward downstrokes to slice through any sort of thing that you're chopping. So I'm actually in the process of prepping for a salad for dinner. And so very simply, you'll see that I have my fingers tucked back. And when we're chopping, we're just sliding our knife gently through. Now, this knife is sharp enough where you can get away with, pushing the front of the blade. But we get something bigger like an onion, pushing through is really hard. Whereas if we are going to be sliding our knife down, using the momentum and slicing through, it'll make chopping a lot easier. When you're going to be chopping in volume, again, you're going to be slicing forward. We're not, because when you chop up and down, you could bruise anything, like especially vegetables that you're cutting. You want nice, even cuts as you go through. So hopefully this video was helpful to you. If you like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time on Kev Eats World.